This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Are you still cutting your own grass? Are you still trying to get your landscaping to look perfect on your own? That sounds sweaty. That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a job for Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Family owned and operated, Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on Kern Street in Exeter near Blue Ribbon Dairy, has the quality and experience to get your yard looking its best. The Garden Center offers plants, trees, sod, mulch, rocks, flowers, topsoil, grass seed, straw bales, and much more, while the Lawn and Landscaping Services offers mowing, trimming, planting, and full landscaping. Visit them on their social media pages for more info. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Get your free estimate today. Welcome to the Popko Project podcast, a platform for the discussion and discovery of arts and entertainment. We focus on highlighting people and events that add value to the world around us. Visit us on all social media platforms by searching the Popko Project, or visit our website at thepopkoproject.com. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for listening.
Got it.
We're zooming, baby. We're zooming.
Who's zooming who?
I don't know. I'm the big spoon.
I was about to show you something before we started it. We can still do that.
Yeah, do you want to do that live or no? We cannot do that or what?
We could. Where do you go to share like a window?
I don't know. I don't get. I'm very simplistic with this.
Share screen. Host disabled the participant screen sharing.
You know what?
You fucking bozo.
That's not a 40.
No, I didn't have time. Listen.
Come on, no. We had a deal.
Listen, I didn't have time. I was helping Nick put up a dance floor.
I don't want to hear these excuses. I didn't have time.
Would you rather me go get the E&J and a Coke? That's even better.
The what?
The E&J and a Coke?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's because you don't know.
Share screen. I don't know why you can't see it or why you can't share it.
It says host disabled.
You know what? This is making for bad. This is making for bad.
You're going to have to do a lot of editing.
I don't edit these. Are you nuts? I don't have the talent for that. I'm not a Joe Caviston.
Well, you could say that again.
I don't have time to be slicing and dicing these and adding his slow motion sound effects for all these dramatics. I don't have time for that.
You don't have time for a lot.
So what are you trying to show me?
It's since I hadn't listened to the last podcast, I went and listened to it today.
Which one?
I actually had Nowhere Slow.
Okay.
And I have actually video of Kester when he got home from the emo night 2 weeks ago.
Oh, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, we do.
We got to figure this out.
He even gave me blessing to show it.
Permission? Shit.
It's pretty great.
I'm going to video settings. I'm going to accessibility. I'm going to all these things.
Would be like, I don't know. Zoom is different. I don't know where to find that.
Record video during screen sharing. Check. Yes. Why is it not allowing me to share full screen, share all windows from an application? I don't know what that means. When I share my screen in a meeting, show all sharing options, automatically share desktop. When I share,
it's in advanced sharing options. Who can share? All participants.
Where's it at? Advanced?
Yeah.
And what
advanced sharing options?
Accessibility?
Within the Zoom meeting, click the arrow next to share screen and select advanced sharing options.
Hold on. Click share screen. There's no. Okay. I think we're getting there.
And there should be a thing that says who can share.
All participants. Oh, here we go.
Yep. All right, we're good
Who
now.
can start sharing once? Okay. All right. This is going to be good. I'm glad we did this. Thanks for Googling that. I can't believe you did not get a 40. I don't know if you watched the video I posted. I went to buy a 40 for the first time in my probably 20 years.
Oh yeah.
And the selection, I don't know if it was the place that I went to, but the selection there was one.
Where did you go?
I went to like the on Main Street in Pittston at Convenient. I thought, hey, this is an area that might do well with the 40s.
Why would that be?
I don't know.
Oh, you got Old English.
This was the only one available. Old English 800. No, it's 42.
Terrible.
Ounces.
It's terrible.
Yeah, why did this for us? And then you screwed me. 42 ounces.
For us.
It's not even glass anymore. It's plastic.
Oh yeah, some of them are like that. Yeah.
So you know what? I'm not a bozo like you.
Yeah, here.
I will.
I'll take care of that. All right.
What are we doing? Where are you going?
Making a run.
Are you going to go to the store and get a 40?
No, even better.
Even better than a 40? What could be better than a 40?
I'll one up you from being around the way.
This might be bad. This might be real bad.
It could be definitely bad.
Yeah. What do you got? What is that? E&J Smirnoff? Is that what this is?
No, it's brandy. Bozo.
I don't.
Regular brandy.
The only brandy that I've ever had was
blackberry brandy, probably.
That's the one. Yeah. Yes.
That's a flavor brandy, but this is like real stuff, like cool people drink.
The last time I bought a 40 was probably when I was in college and played Edward 40 Hands.
Yeah.
Legit. Duct tape.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't done that personally, but I've been around that.
This is terrible.
It's the worst. I would have got Mickey's.
Well, yeah, and if there were options available to me, what I should have done, I actually went to the nice Convenient. The one on Main Street in Pittston downtown is very nice. If you go down a little bit near where the Momo Spa is, that's the one I should have gone to.
Yeah, well, you already know.
Again, I didn't have a lot of time myself, so I didn't have time to be stopping at multiple occasions, spending all this money. Guess how much this cost?
That $1.50?
No, it's 2022, bro.
Inflation. All right, $2.50.
$2.50? No, it may have been $2.75.
Yeah, all right.
I forget.
They used to be like $1.50.
Yeah. I used to play a game at a restaurant that sold like singles. I go there for lunch years ago, and you'd see people walk in, and we play a game called "What's He Drinking?" Because you could just tell, and they would just dart to the refrigerator cases. They'd reach their hand in for the single, either the 16-ounce pounder or 40 or whatever whatever they're feeling. That was a fun game. This isn't that bad.
You do it as you go along. By the time you get to the end of it, it'll be horrible though.
It'll be warm.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, I had a beer once. We had a bachelor party for my buddy. His name's Dave Ermack. It was at my house. I used to live in Pringle, and we did a thing called grab bag. So we just bought terrible beer. I couldn't even remember the name of the beer. It may have just been called Ice. It was in a blue can. I don't know what it was called. I forget. But you buy just a bunch of shitty beer, and then you buy some good ones. But you put them all in a cooler, and then you put a trash bag across the top, and you cut a hole in the center.
And you just
luck of the draw.
It's like that game on what do you call Price is Right. You put your hand in, you pull out whatever. I used to love that game.
I don't watch those things.
Price is Right is the best. Stop.
Well, I mean, I work during the day. I don't know about you, but I'm not home at 11 o'clock watching The Price is Right.
Well, it's actually on right now. If you don't, there's a primetime one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know you work. I'm just busting. I would love to know the name of that beer, though. But this video, you got this video up? You got it ready?
You want to see it? I mean, we just dove right in. You didn't introduce me. You didn't do anything. I was
Well,
like,
who need?
are we starting the video?
I didn't think you needed an introduction. DJ Hersh, a good friend of mine, the infamous DJ Hersh, I should say, wedding, what do you call it? Pumper upper. Not that, right?
not anything.
Wedding DJ, the party DJ. I mean, when you want the party to start, you call DJ Hersh. The pumper upper.
Yeah, I guess.
That's gonna stick. That's gonna stick. You watch.
God, I hope not.
That's as good as this fucking 40.
All right, so let's preface this a little bit.
Yeah,
this
okay.
Video.
So right, real quick. Well, DJ Hersh, all kidding aside.
Yeah.
Very well-known DJ in these parts of northeastern Pennsylvania and beyond. You travel for weddings. I mean, you're very you're sought out entertainer for weddings and things of that nature. I mean, he is the DJ for emo nights with Joe Caviston, who we mentioned earlier. I mean, this guy, there's nothing he can't do.
Jack of all trades.
But we've got a lot to get through tonight. We've got the Take a Shot segment brought to you by the V-Spot Bar in Scranton, where we encourage fans of the podcast, fans of DJ Hersh, to take their shot and ask questions. So we'll get into that too. But today is, I mean, this might not even release for another 3 or 4 weeks, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm trying to backlog. My wife is due in about a week and a half, so I'm preparing for that. I want to be able to focus on my wife and my 4.5-year-old son and the newborn baby, and not have to worry about recording podcasts. I'm trying to be a good dad, a good husband, things like that. So this will air when it airs. But today, for a frame of reference, today is June 29th. I just released episode 91 of the podcast today, featuring Nowhere Slow, and we told a story about, not a story about Matt Kester, but we were telling stories about, Nowhere Slow days and things that they've been doing. And Ricky Gillette, he had a little mishap with a carpet. But we have a video of Matt Kester. I saw a little clip of it online. He shared a little bit of it, I think.
Yeah, there's 2 parts.
There's 2 parts for emo night at the V-Spot in Scranton.
Oh, he's not there.
Oh, it's after.
Oh, it's way after.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I saw the video from the V-Spot. I mean, I'll tell you what. The V-Spot gets a lot of plugs on this podcast. I mean, I don't know what it is. But let's go. What?
Okay. So, yes.
Talk about it.
So, well, I didn't even, he's first of all, Matt had mentioned that, he may be coming to emo night a couple weeks ago, and I would probably see him because we were talking about some other things like the fair and whatnot. The whatever that is, that medieval festival or whatever he's got going on. And it was like, I think it was around the second band. We had a couple opening bands that were playing, and he showed up with his wife, and he proceeded to make it very well known that he came because his wife wanted to check it out. And she was like excited to be there, but it quickly turned into him having the greatest night of his life. And I saw him a few times throughout the night. He was on stage. He was jumping around like he was 12 years old. So then the next day he was kind of hurting and decided to share some video of him after he returned home.
So he took his own video, or his wife took the video of him?
It's actually the Ring doorbell video.
Oh, this could be really good. And we do have permission to show this.
Yeah.
Do we have written consent?
Oh, look at it. It's not letting me do it.
No, all this for nothing. Jesus.
Wait. Well, let's see if I can't just share the portion of the screen. This will be a little bit different. All right. Let's see.
For anyone just listening, This is available on YouTube. This is available on Facebook. We are
All right,
watching.
can you see this?
Oh yeah. This is this.
This is Matt. I think he let the dog out or something. He had just returned home.
Oh. What? Oh no. Oh no. Does he fall asleep? Oh no. He fell asleep against his door. He just called it quits. He is out. Oh no. Does he fall? Tell me he doesn't
He was
fall.
waiting for the dog, Rocky the dog.
Okay. He didn't really okay. I thought he really fell asleep. Oh my goodness.
There's some great stuff there.
Wow. Matt Kester, you are a gem.
Incredible.
So people have a good time at these emo nights, I guess.
The best time.
The best
you would
time.
say.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know how the two of you do it. I really don't. I don't. I'm not going to lie. I mean, look at you.
Meaning what?
Look at you. Who wants to pay the two of you? Who wants to pay Joe Caviston to jump on the stage?
Well, that I don't know. I mean, it's incredible.
It was confirmed today that he doesn't listen to this podcast, so I could talk all the shit I want to on Joe Caviston.
I think
He'll never hear it. He'll never hear it.
No. I mean, only like 4 other people hear it.
All kidding. My mom, me,
your wife, probably.
No, not even that.
The kid,
my wife, me again.
Mm-hmm.
But no. So there's emo nights. I mean, you guys started it 5 years ago, almost. Like, I don't want to say as a joke, but like kind of like, hey, let's try something, and it just kind of blew up.
Right. Yeah. Other. We're not the first one to do it.
Right.
And
I'm not surprised by that, but
not the only ones to do it. But for the area, nobody else really does what we do, and it still surprises me today how well they're received.
Tell the 4 listeners what emo night is if they don't know already.
I think we'll have to tell them because I don't think any of them watch this. So.
Yeah, well, no, I'm going to inform the millions of people that don't already know. Okay. You tell the story. I'm going to drink this Old English.
So it's basically a concert that we host, I guess, for the people that come, and it's more about them than anything. And they come and we let them come on stage. We have microphones hooked up for them to sing along, so they kind of like act like it's karaoke like, but more of a party atmosphere. And it's like it's all about nostalgia and how hearing these old songs on a night, most of these people are in their early mid 30s, and it's taking them back to a time when things were different, and they get to feel that way. Yeah, it's a very simple concept that we figured out a very good equation, and it's been working very well.
Now, do you really hate emo music, or is that just kind of like this
no
facade?
It's just facade. No, I don't.
You're just a grump. You just hate.
I only actually hate country music. That's about it.
Okay.
I mean, it just wasn't my particular thing growing up. I didn't come from that kind of background. I mean, everybody knew the more pop punk songs and stuff like that. Like everybody knew Blink-182 and the Fall Out Boy and stuff like that. It was more the other stuff that I didn't even know of. That's all really that it was for me.
And you have a bunch of shows lined up for the rest of the year, right?
Oh, there's a ton. Yeah, I think we have like 6 or 7. Yeah.
And I think the official name is Screaming Infidelities Emo Night.
Yes.
Stole that from Dashboard Confessional, I think, right?
Absolutely.
You know that?
What do you mean? Of course I know that.
How would you know that?
Well, because we play the song.
Oh, you listen to the songs too?
Yeah.
You don't just push play?
No, that's not what happens.
So you actually
that's another part of it. Yeah. As much as I can.
Did you know that I used to DJ?
I can. No, you didn't.
I did.
No.
Swear to God.
Where? When?
At Liam's. And I had 2 nights at the bar. You know what I called myself? You know what my name was?
No.
Take a guess.
Johnny Weekender?
No. DJ Press Play.
Oh, God. I didn't even know that was you.
Yeah. That name got out there? People knew about him?
I think that was just something people said. I don't know.
Yeah. I would literally and I would load up the iTunes account, and then if someone came up to me and wanted to hear a song, if I didn't have it, I would just buy it and play it.
Wow. How nice of you.
Yeah, right? How about it?
Damn.
Yeah.
That's really something.
It was really cool, though. I mean, I have a lot of respect for DJs. I think sometimes they can get a bad rap. They can be called like a jukebox or, a Spotify, a glorified Spotify list or whatever it might be. Like, I really and I imagine you do this too. Like, when I set up those nights, I would have a playlist already set, and I would literally come in, I would push play, and kind of let it go. That's why DJ Press Play, and I have no DJ talents whatsoever. But what I did, I try to keep up to date on the cool songs, and I kind of knew the people that would be there at the bar that night, and I kind of selected songs based around that, and I kind of started the night off kind of mellow, and then it kind of picked up as the night went on. But talk about being a DJ. I mean, again, I think people have this idea of you guys just walk in and you hit play, and I mean, what's being a DJ?
Honestly, that sometimes that you will see a guy that does that, and that's why that term is around, because some people do that. However, that's never been anything that I've been associated with. So I try to keep it in a purest form as possible, whenever possible. Like I said, when you do the emo night, there's only so much you can do DJ wise, because the people there are here to hear songs that they know, and they want to hear them how they know them. So there's not a whole lot of stuff you can do outside the box. Sometimes you can't mix songs together. You just have to wait for them to end, because there's things at the end of these songs that people want to hear. They want to hear them all the way through most of the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's how it is for this kind of event. But otherwise, if you were to look up the best DJs there are, and actual real ones, that's what I try to put forth when I am playing. I don't know if that came across right, but yeah, I'm definitely not press play guy.
I'll have to bring that back when my kids get older. I'll be DJ press play again. But yeah, I mean, obviously for emo nights, you want to play what people know, and I assume even at weddings, to a degree, is somewhat similar. I'm sure you have a little bit more creative freedom at times, but when you are able to create, what does that look like?
I guess you would say seamless as possible. You want to make sure everything flows together, and these songs that are after, one after another are, close to the same tempo and in the same key, and all of those other kind of musical things to make your ear not hurt, or to be like, oh, what happened there? The best way to put it is, if nobody notices anything that you do sometimes, that's probably really good. And the ones that actually really notice will let you know that you did something good. But it's all about making sure you please the ear.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any DJs that you look up to?
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah,
Like who?
plenty. There's I don't know how well most of them are known.
That's okay.
Most of them are like smaller name guys. I have a friend that a few friends out of the Lancaster area that have been doing this stuff for a long time. DJ Image, DJ Edge, bigger, more well known guys like Jazzy Jeff and like, geez, what other guys?
Steve Aoki?
No,
No,
not a great DJ.
no, really?
No, not you can't name those EDM guys. They're not really doing stuff that like an open format person does that plays everything. They don't play everything.
Oh, okay. So
I just don't hold them in the same realm as these other guys.
Okay.
Yeah. People may think that they're good or they're talented, but
is it the marketing? Is that what it is?
They're more, all those guys, they have actual records. They produce songs. They're more producers than they are DJs, and that comes with that. Yeah.
What about DJ Pauly D?
It's awful. The worst.
What?
It's horrendous. Like if you want to stay on the Stevie Aoki thing, like guys like Little John and Jermaine Dupri, or they DJ now. Like now that their production career has slowed down a little bit and they don't do so much. They DJ more, but that doesn't make them really good at what they do. They know technically what to do and what kind of things to play, but they're not like amazingly talented DJs in the sense, that can do all kinds of different things. They have the fundamentals and the name is what they have.
It's interesting. You say that DJ Pauly D is not a good DJ.
No,
but I mean the guy. I'm sure, Jersey Shore helped, boost him to the level he's at.
If there was no Jersey Shore, there'd be no DJ Pauly D.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
No, that's interesting. Have you met DJ Pauly D?
No.
I feel like you would have.
No, I had opportunities.
Yeah,
but I never met him. No.
I wouldn't mind meeting Pauly D. With the situation.
That's weird.
Or any of those characters. You mentioned Nick before. I mean, Nick used to bring those characters to the Coliseum back in the day.
Oh yeah, a bunch of them. I don't know if Pauly D played there though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Snooki was there once. Maybe.
Yeah, and one of those other jabronis.
I think Ronnie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think Snooki cried outside on the curb for a little while.
Nice. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I do like watching the Jersey Shore. I mean, I watched it when it came out in 2009. I've been watching it as it continues. It's still on. It's still, they have families now, and
You still watch?
I still watch it. Yes, my wife and I will watch it. It's a guilty pleasure. But like for me, I like drama. But I like drama that's not mine.
Okay.
Okay. And of course, it's fake, right? It's all I won't say planned, but it's all kind of orchestrated. I get that too, but it's like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. It's something I'll throw on when I want to unwind. But
I gotcha.
I mean,
I like Treehouse Masters. I like that show.
What the hell is that?
This is this weird guy that goes around the country building tree houses for people.
That's sweet. What are you drinking now?
It's E&J and Cherry Coke.
Okay. I'm still really let down by the. I mean, I thought of all people, like you would have been all about the 40.
I know, and I just flaked on it. It's my fault.
I mean, I thought we were gonna have like a bonding experience right now. Instead, I'm just eating shit.
We bonded plenty.
But I mean, where do you get some of your? I mean, does a lot of it come naturally when you're listening to music and you say, hey, I can mix that song with that song, and you just kind of go and try it out, or do you? I mean, yeah. I've tagged you a lot in many TikTok things. I've tagged you in videos that I mean, you're not even close to their level of talent. So I'm trying to do you a favor and tag you in them so you can kind of learn a thing or two. But like, I mean, do you go to the internet? Do you learn from other DJs and kind of like, oh, that's
I
a really
watch videos, and I listen to other guys' mixes all the time. I like to hear what their honestly, it's cool to hear guys from around the country do different things because different kinds of music are more popular in different areas. So I like to keep up on that and hear what guys like maybe in Atlanta do, or guys in Vegas do, or LA, or Seattle, and places like that all around the country, because it's all different. There are songs that are huge in certain regions, and we have never heard them.
I was in Punta Cana 2005, and we heard Gasolina. Never heard of it, like, you know, around.
Well, I mean, you probably wouldn't hear it.
Anyways, never heard. No one. It wasn't on the radio. It wasn't any like the mainstream here in our area in northeastern Pennsylvania.
It's not mainstream.
But like two years later, I feel like you started hearing it in the clubs. So yeah, it's like crazy how there's these different areas, like different songs hit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's cool.
And what do you think about music today? I mean, I guess it's always been kind of like, if you turn on a KRZ or 97.1, like you'll hear that pop and that like R&B or that club kind of music.
Oh, the local stations are really crazy these days.
Well, I'm not even just saying like local stations. I'm just saying like, I mean, they play like that music. And it's almost like it's just like manufactured shit. It's like the Cardi B's.
Oh, 100%.
And it's the stuff that they have to play.
Well, they get paid to play that stuff.
Right. But like, that's not good stuff.
No, it's terrible. It's so repetitive. I was texting somebody the other day who's on air, and I was like, if I hear this Lil Nas X song one more time, I'm going to explode. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear that song, but you guys play it every 20 minutes. Every time I turn the station on, it's on. And literally nobody likes that song.
Well, fun fact, I used to work in radio, right? And like, I still don't know how or why this is the way it is, but they do music tests and they like do surveys, as antiquated as that sounds. But like, I mean, they're basically like, oh, like survey says this person, they want to hear this song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how does it happen?
I have no clue.
I mean, maybe
who are they reaching out to do these surveys?
We're probably not the demo.
No,
honestly.
And even the demo,
it's those soccer moms, man. They like
good enough.
Their inner 21-year-old, like it's always there, right? They're dropping their kids off at school. They're like, man, I could have been like, 20 years ago I was at the club. If this was a jam back, when I was 20, like,
I don't know.
That's what they're thinking. It is.
It's really an enigma. Excuse me, an enigma to me.
Easy.
How that kind of stuff becomes so repetitive. Even mostly the ones that are just like, I've never had anyone ask me to play this song ever, and you guys play it every 20 minutes.
What I think is crazy about music, there's a formula, and I think that goes into how you can like take one song and kind of roll it into another, because there is a formula that what makes it sound good versus what makes it like dog shit.
Oh yeah. And there's I read something a while ago that there's a lot of pop, and the more pleasing stuff to the ear is something in like the C key. There's a lot of stuff in the C area. I think that's what it was. So that's why a lot of pop music use that key, because it's more pleasing to the ear. So there's even more, like psychological stuff to it that people don't even realize. Almost, what's the word?
I don't know.
I forget it. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, but some of that music though, like the WAP song and like that's like that to me like is just noise. Like that is the two singers of that song. I couldn't even tell you the names of them.
Wait, WAP or WAP?
WAP. What is it?
WAP.
Yeah. Well, how do you say it?
Wet ass.
I know. Easy. This is Jesus.
Yeah, but it's not because there's another song called the WAP, and kids love it. And it's totally in a different tempo and vein, but it's more of a party, and it's from years ago, and it goes over really well. Yeah.
My kid wanted to listen to. I have Alexa in the car, and he said he wants to listen to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I told Alexa to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Song?
Not in the theme song. I just said the name of the show or movie or whatever, and it started playing this. There's like a not soundtrack, but like an album. Like it was called "Coming Out of Their Shells" or "Our Shells," and it's 12 songs. And like I had forgotten about this moment of my life where, and you're around my age. I don't know if you remember this or not, but the Kingston Armory actually held like a concert where the Turtles came and they quote unquote performed songs from this album. But they were like, I mean, as a kid, swear to God, as a kid, you thought they were like playing the guitar and like the drums and shit like that. But obviously, as a grown adult now, like there's not physically possible to do that in these giant, this giant outfit, right? But like, I'm listening to these songs in the car. I'm like, wow, these are actually like some. And I think it came out in 1990, but like it was a lot of like 80s based like music, and it's so cool to kind of like listen to that now, and it was just a fun moment for me to kind of be like transported back in time. And I think it's amazing how music in general kind of can take you back to moments in your life, and how you can really tie certain songs to certain moments in your life, and whether it's when you get married or a high school memory or whatever it might be. I think music is very powerful in that aspect.
Sure. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever listen to a song, maybe an older song, and you got goosebumps from it?
I get goosebumps a lot, and that's my favorite thing in life almost.
From music?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Because it doesn't happen to a lot of people.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's one of my most favorite things in life is when you hear a good song and you get those goosebumps. And it's funny, like I'm nobody, right? I mean, I think I have a good ear, but I mean, I have no power to, hear a song and say, hey, like you belong on the radio or whatever. But like guys in the scene around here in northeastern Pennsylvania would like guys like Aaron Bruck, who now is with Breaking Benjamin. When he was writing songs for Panacea, we would go out in his car after he played a show at the bar, and it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and he'd like share with me songs that he was like working on, because for some reason he valued my opinion. And same with John Guido Phillips, and I think I have a good ear, but like when I get those goosebumps, I think that's like special for what it's worth. For a guy like me. I mean,
it doesn't happen for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So not everyone can feel that?
No. Some people never have that.
So I'm special is what you're telling me.
Yeah. No, I always knew that, but
that's what I hear. Special. But I mean, what got you into to wanting to be a DJ? I mean, did you like really love music and it kind of like took you to that profession and that lifestyle?
Yeah. It started in high school. I was exposed to a lot of that stuff. Growing up in the 90s, in the golden era of hip hop music, some of the best albums of all time came out in that time. And It just hit heavy, and I really dove deep into that specifically at that time. And then from that, I believe, uh, pulled me into a whole realm of other stuff that was even older, because at that time, hip hop music was sample heavy, and they used pieces of older songs that, as time went on, in high school you don't really think about it, but as you get older, you look more into the substance of it, and you start looking at the credits inside the CDs and see who did what, who was the producer, and it contains a sample or interpolation of this song by this artist, and you look them up and you look at all the original stuff that they done, and what it's like. Hip hop music was like a crazy rabbit hole.
Well, it's so funny you say that, because like when I was growing up, when I was in junior high and high school, like, there were songs that I heard, like I couldn't know the name of the song, but Tupac, that's just the way it is.
Oh yeah, and that was a later one.
Yeah, but like growing up, I didn't know that was like, I thought that was him.
Steve Winwood.
Yeah, and I thought that was like Tupac. I mean, this is fucking great.
I believe, right?
I think so, yeah. And then there was like a P. Diddy song when he kind of started his, like, P. Diddy and the Family. Like, he had a song. Even
most of those were sampled,
right? But as a young kid, like, I didn't know that, because I wasn't familiar with that music. So, sorry to cut you off. I just thought that was really interesting that you mentioned that, because like I just remember being like that and being like, "It's really cool, like that he's doing this." I'm like, it wasn't even him. He was just sampling it.
I mean, all that. Yeah, you said P. Diddy. He was like one of the kings of using the more known tracks to sample, like big hits from. He even said it. Take hits from the '80s, but does it sound so crazy in a line? And like, yeah, that's what he did.
I think he took a song from
there's a ton.
The Rocky soundtrack or something. I thought that was it. Yeah, Victory. Yes. Which was a great song in my mind. Yeah. I think it's still a great song, even though I mean, sample on it. But
Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Yeah.
All of it. Almost every song during that time. That whole album, I think. Like, what is it? Shit. There's one that's Person to Person, Average White Band, from that album that he sampled. Like, what I like when I was listening to that was 97. When I listened to that, I had no clue about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, like, Average White Band. What teenager would know what the hell that was?
Yeah. But go on about you like getting into like this being a DJ. Like, I started to cut you off. I just thought that was like interesting that you said that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it that led me to learn about all that older music, which I think is a detriment to what is going on today, because that doesn't happen much anymore. You don't hear those songs with those samples, and kids don't decide to learn about the older stuff and where things may have come from or originated, or why it is the way it is. A lot of this stuff is just programmed in a computer now, and it's not very creative, in a sense that it's reusing something in a new and exciting way. Sometimes it's just very lazily done now, and like, oh, we could do this, and then just put a little tip tap here, and then oh, that's cool. It's not clever is the thing. It's blatant.
Could there be two sides to that though? Because I mean, if you like think about if like you're sampling a song, like, are you paying respect to that artist by doing that, or is it like, oh, you're not creative enough to do something for yourself, so you need help from this artist?
All right, let me give it to you this way.
Give it to me.
Here's the real answer to that question. Is that in the early days of hip hop, no one knew how to make the music. These people in New York City in the late 70s and early 80s, they had no idea how to make these songs. You know what I mean? So they took pieces of songs that they did know and used them to make something new in a way that they figured out. Now you can make anything on a computer without even trying. You know, it'll do it for you. You're like, oh, I need a 4/4 beat at this tempo. You push a button and it'll put it right in for you. You don't even have to push more than one button. But back then, you had to literally figure it out and say, oh, all right, well, a piece of this record has only drums. And I like this drum, the way this drum sounds. So we'll put this drum and then we'll take another part of a song. Because even then, they didn't have instruments. They didn't have a way to create the music, you know, in any, you know, traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much the story of how hip hop started, is using what you had to make something new.
Right. Different.
And like, it's great if you have somebody to make a drum. Okay. But who's going to record that drum?
Right.
You know, if you bought this box that had the pads on it, you push the button and you could record this 5-second piece of drums and then play it over and over and over again, and then put this other melody on top of it. Boom, here we go. We got a new song that didn't exist before.
Right.
And it just a new way.
It's interesting how we evolve and things get different, and that technology gets better.
I don't believe it's evolution. I believe it's de-evolution.
Okay. That's
I
fair.
mean, how do you get
That's fair.
How do you get better? By making something easier.
True. But I mean,
if it's not hard, how are you progressing?
But I mean, what if we never
You're not
created the wheel though? I mean, like, should we just have kept dragging that fucking square along? Like,
what?
You're making something easier by creating the wheel, right?
Okay.
You're making something. What I'm saying is like you're making something easier. So like, I understand what you're saying, but also we are smart and we try to like make things easier, like create the wheel to like pull something heavy more easily, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it's not. Maybe it doesn't relate.
It's not completely.
Maybe it doesn't relate. Maybe it doesn't relate.
Right.
Whatever. I understand.
It's all right.
I understand what you're saying.
You want to take it. You want to take the back into the Stone Age.
No, but what I'm saying is like we. I mean, our goal. Like, no, that's not. I shouldn't say it's our. I understand what you're saying. You know, we should make things hard, and things should be hard because we learn from things that are hard.
I'm a firm believer.
I understand.
Yes, you grow from pain. Pain makes it better.
Well, there's a saying, like, and I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm not even gonna try to say it, but it's like basically like, you know, tough men make, or hard times make tough men make easier times make soft men make hard times.
Right.
Kind of like this circle. Like,
sure.
So I understand what you're saying. I just like, but I was just trying to throw it back at you. Like, well, what if we just like, oh, well, let's just keep doing this because like, let's do this thing harder because it'll make us stronger because we have to pull it more as opposed to creating the wheel to make our lives easier. Was what I'm getting at. Like, so like, how do we?
But it became easier, but did it become better?
Well, I mean, we can get into a whole different discussion.
Right. It's very philosophical. I got a lot of issues with that. Like, I'm a firm believer. If like when the guys ask me, younger guys ask me, like, I want to get into DJing, I want to learn, I want to this. What should I do? And one of the first things I tell them is, like, first of all, you should learn the basics on the worst piece of equipment you can find. the least evolved piece of equipment you could find. Because if you can do it well with that, everything else will become cake.
Sure. That makes sense.
So I'm like, if it were me telling a kid, get turntables and records and learn how to do it with your ears before you look at a computer screen with the lines and you can see what lines up and how the beats match and all this. You don't want to do that. You want to learn by listening, because that's what it's all about first. You want to learn on the least common denominator. Whatever is the hardest way to learn should be the way you start.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
To an extent. For sure. Especially in, the life of a DJ. For sure. That makes, 100% sense. Don't get me wrong. But I have so my kid's 4.5 and he's playing t-ball but I'm friends with parents who have older kids and playing sports, and maybe you can relate to this as you're a father, and but like when we grew up, the coach pulled out a bat bag full of bats and full of 5 helmets, and that's what we had. And you would make do. Like if the bat that was in the bag was too heavy for you, you would choke up. Like, and you worked with what you had. Now, every kid has their own bat, their own helmet. They play the same sport year round. They do travel ball, and they have coaches outside of the leagues that they're in. It's so it's like, do you say
thing.
Right, but do you say, hey, Jimmy, here's this bat that's too heavy for you, learn how to deal with it? Or do we give you a piece of equipment that makes more sense for you, is more tailored to you, and you get better with something that makes, because eventually when you get to the next level, you're going to have that something that's tailored to you.
Right. But if you start out with the harder way,
I agree.
Everything else will be easier.
I agree. It's like if you went outside with a handle from a broom and tried to hit a ball with that, right? If you kept doing that, hitting a ball with an actual
Why do you think the
bat.
Cubans are so good at baseball?
I understand,
because that's all they have.
But it's all crazy. Like, what are we doing? And how to
we're making it worse is what we're doing.
Are we though? Are we?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, and I also
you're falling into the trap.
I don't know.
You really are.
I don't know. But wait,
you are.
I don't know if I'm falling into the trap.
No, it's because that's what everybody else is doing.
That's the problem. It's our fault.
Yeah,
it's our own fault.
It's what everybody else is doing, and I'm guilty of it too. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to do it. I'm mad about doing it, but I do it, and I make sure it's known that I'm not happy about it.
Well, here's the thing. I say this a lot. I remember before my son was even born, I was driving down Main Street in Pittston, and it was 3 weeks before Halloween. Trunk or treat here, trunk or treat there. These fucking kids are trick or treating for 4 weeks before the day of Halloween. Back in our day, we had 1 day. If it rained, you were still out there. If it snowed, you're still out there. If you had 1 day, and that was it. But what I'm saying is, but now it's like, well, I don't want, if you're in a class with 10 kids and everyone else is doing this trunk or treats, do I say to my son, no, you can't do that, even though everybody else is. You can, but then you're an asshole.
No, listen here, we're going way outside the realm, but I'm going to tell you this. If you look at the guys that are in charge of all this stuff, let's take the technology guys, and you want to look at Zuckerberg and this guy and that guy and whoever, they don't let their kids have an iPhone. They don't let their kids have this, that, and the other thing, because they know it's bad. and they are not allowing it. Right? That's an extreme,
Okay.
what do you call it? But that they do that. They do that, and they can afford to do that because who's going to mess with them? But everybody else is stuck in the pipeline, stuck in the system. So and I'm trying, as much as you try to resist the system, you're still a part of it. You have to. You will be called the asshole. You will be called that guy. That dad's a jerk, or this. He doesn't let his kid have that. Or, this, that, the other thing. But I mean, you can resist. You just have to be willing to accept the consequences.
What are the consequences?
Like I said, you'll get called the asshole.
Yeah.
Or
your
my
kid hates
dad,
you.
My dad is like doesn't allow that, and they're like, "What is he? Some kind of weirdo?" And like this and that. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he doesn't believe that it's real or it's helping.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to navigate.
It's just like when you were a kid and you thought you knew everything, and your parents were some jabronis.
Right.
It's no different. It's just a different time with different consequences or variables.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard being a parent, I think.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool, but it's fucked up.
I mean, we grew up without the social media. I mean, which was nice, I think. I mean, that
was amazing.
My kid will know nothing, we'll never be in a world without it, right?
Right.
I'm hoping. So Dunkin' Donuts has their app has been down. Talk about problems, right?
When?
Well, I mean, maybe
it wasn't down today.
No, a certain location.
Okay.
Pittston.
Oh,
a lot of stuff happened in Pittston.
Pittston is.
But
Blueberry Hill's not sound so good.
The app has been down for 3 days now, and I wonder how much money they're losing because what I do is I drop the kid off at daycare. I schedule the coffee to be made, so it's ready for me when I get there. I can't do that now, right? It's funny because I had a free coffee today. And on Monday, I'm like, is this going to be fixed soon? Because I got a free coffee coming up. I was going to use it today and expires on Wednesday. What are we going to do here?
Wednesday?
Yeah, free coffee.
He's got to go somewhere else.
So they're like, oh, the guy's coming today. We'll have it fixed. I'm like, of course you're going to have it fixed.
You asked them if the app was going to be fixed?
Well, she's like, I'll take care of it. I said, listen, I'm going to be okay.
She didn't know.
I said, I'm gonna be okay even if you don't. I guess not. I'm just curious. And so the guy's coming. I'm like, yeah, of course he's coming today because you're Dunkin' Donuts. You can't afford to be cash only. Who has cash these days, right?
They can't afford it. Trust me.
Well, they can, but I wonder how much money they lost.
It'll be a little bit.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I wouldn't mind for just the whole system to crash everything.
Oh, be amazing.
It'd probably be really hard.
I'm telling you, one of the greatest things, it's crazy. Let the Russians drop that EMP somewhere and everything go black. I would
Are you ready?
Wow.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
You have cash on hand?
Everything.
You got food? Everything's ready?
Everything.
See, I'm not ready for that. I thought about it. I started thinking about it today because I was thinking about the whole Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, man, you know what if everything just shuts off?
Yeah, it'd be amazing and terrible.
I'd be in trouble.
People would lose their minds.
I have very little cash on hand, and I was thinking I'm like,
here's the other thing: cash ain't even gonna matter.
What do you do?
Not gonna matter.
Steal it?
No, if things go really bad, cash don't matter. It's the things that you have on hand, not the cash.
Like guns?
No, it could be anything. Anything. What happens if you
a spear?
Anything. It could be anything. Let's go somewhere else.
You mentioned these young kids and the music they're into. I don't understand how it works. You're like a 45-year-old DJ playing to college kids. How does that work? I mean,
college kids are a little different.
Yeah. So what does that world look like?
You're going to need to know the most popular 20 songs there is, right? You're gonna need that.
How do you do that? I mean, what do you follow a playlist on Spotify? Because I know you're not.
There's a little bit on
you're
the
not waking up
radio. A lot of times I look at Billboard
Okay.
because that's a countrywide thing. So there's that, but there's more to it than just that. By the way, is that behind you is that a Steam Time Music Award on the shelf there?
What?
Behind you is that a Steam Time Music Award?
Oh, there's several.
Oh, because I have some back here too. Just so you know,
I'm an award-winning.
They're in the dark.
I'm an award-winning podcaster. I'm an award-winning radio host.
I've won more awards than anybody in the history of this valley. So anyway,
that's because you sleep with Joe Capiston. But
all right. What were we just talking about?
How you figure out what songs to play for the younger generation.
You don't really need to know more than the most popular 20 that are new. The other ones for college kids, you want to know what were the hits 8 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
That's the real stuff.
That's what they want to hear when they're out boozing and partying.
Yeah. They want to know because that was good when they were in high school. That was good when they were just about to go to high school. And that's it right there. 8 to 10 years ago for a college junior.
Okay. That's a good perspective.
Because, freshman and sophomore can't go out yet. So when you're out and you're like, oh my God, like right now it's 2022. So 2012 was it was just kind of almost near the end of like more the EDM stuff. And that was all up tempo, like club type tracks. So anything from that era is going to be really big for that crowd.
Okay. It's interesting because I didn't think about that. I thought they want to hear what's popular now, but you're right. They would want to hear what was popular.
And I've noticed that you would rather play the newest popular tracks early in a night, and then once they've had a few drinks, then hit them with the old stuff, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love this song!"
Singing.
Yep, they know all the words.
Yeah, and even if they don't know the words, they know the words. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's another subcategory of stuff that only the college kids know, which may never be on radio, and it's stuff that nobody has ever heard before. There are some songs that have never hit the radio anywhere that the college kids pull out from either YouTube or that somebody made somewhere, and it just resonates with them, and they pick up on it and they ask for it. And I've found it, and it just is just crazy.
I see a lot of like music get popular and hot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
they're about to shut that down too.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Are they though?
The admin did their investigation, or they're recommending it be shut down.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I saw the news today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The guy in the FCC or something like that. I forget who the guy was.
For what reason?
Privacy. They're sharing of course they're taking the data. The Chinese are taking the data and they're using it like they're not supposed to.
That's interesting. I believe it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, why wouldn't they?
So I should get off that?
Yeah, I would never touch that.
See, I thought the same thing. And I was on it. I deleted it. I'm like, well,
of all the stuff that had gone on with the previous administration, that was one bright spot. That was a bad move, and he tried to do it, and then they were like, we don't know, but it was a good call.
So I should delete TikTok. But
yeah,
as of right now, I mean, you'll see a lot of music become popular on TikTok, and they're not even like full like length songs right now. They could be like a minute.
No, and it could be an old song that nobody even cared about before that takes off, but they paid somebody to make a video, and then that video got copied, and somebody made their own version of that video, and they just use the same song, and now that song is crazy again. It's like this one song. I said it before. It was a beat nut song. It was a '90s hip hop song. Se acabó. It's like the end is what it is in like Spanish, but it's all over in every video now.
Really?
And in the '90s, we like DJs knew it and hip hop people knew it. It was never on the radio here. It might have been on the radio in like New York because that's where they're from, but it was decent. But it was not like a top 10. It was a great song. I loved it. But now it's in all these videos, and it's from the '90s, and it's like none of these kids who don't know who the Beatnuts are.
Well, think about that song by I don't know her name, but it's in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
Run Up the Hill.
Back.
Huge song. Yeah, I think she's making. I heard
it might be on the charts now,
but I heard different. Yeah, I heard different numbers, but I heard a number between 500 and a million, 500,000 and a million a week on royalties.
Maybe.
Imagine that.
It's great.
I saw a funny, meme on the internet, and it was like something from, I think it was Back to the Future. But it's like, oh, you might not like the song now, but your kids will.
Yeah, the kids are gonna love it.
Kids are gonna love it. Yeah.
It's Johnny B. Good.
Sure.
Yeah, Johnny B. Good. You're not ready for this yet.
No, not.
Right.
So, DJing in clubs, DJing for parties. Like, how did you get into weddings? Was that just an evolution? Was that just like a natural step in the life of DJ Hersh?
I never wanted to do it. It was never a thought in my mind, but somebody proposed it to me years ago, who I'd rather not name. But it was proposed to me, and then I started with it. And as I kept going, I became more comfortable. And I figured out that if I can adapt what I was already doing to that kind of diverse crowd, I would be one of one in Northeast PA that was doing that at that time. And that's how it worked
you're
out.
A trailblazer for
from around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody from the club or bar scene that was an actual DJ was doing weddings 10 years ago.
Do you think people saw you and considered you a sellout?
I'm sure somebody did, yeah. But once you be like, oh, well, I'm getting paid 5 times as much to do a wedding that you're doing this bar for.
Right.
Then the tune changes.
Sure.
You're like, oh, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
No pun intended.
And now all kinds of guys do that all over the place.
Well, sure. Do you think you got any flack, when the recession hit in 2008-ish, 9-ish, when the DJs started becoming the main entertainment at bars? And then
yes, there was a lot of resentment.
Yeah,
from the bands.
Yeah,
initially, and I'm sure there still is. From that point, I mean, and it was honestly probably because of guys like me that actually knew what they were doing and not the typical, wedding DJ, that we could actually do a really good job at this and we wouldn't be stuck to a certain playlist.
Right.
Because it's not easy for a band to do a wedding and hit all those different areas.
That's just funny how like that, like something like that could change the dynamic and change the entertainment scene
Oh yeah.
like that. It's just wild. And for anyone like listening that doesn't understand or know, when the recession hit, like before that, bands in the bar scene and bands in clubs were very popular, but you're paying a band a price, and their price is based on the length of time they're playing, the amount of guys in the band, and it could be significantly greater than paying one person
It
like a
still
DJ.
is.
Yeah, still is, but
Mm-hmm.
they started looking at their expenses and saying, okay, well, I can't afford a 5-piece full band playing cover songs, but I can afford one guy who's playing those same songs, note for note,
The actual songs.
for half the price. So it's like, it's just crazy.
Oh, try a quarter of the price sometimes.
Well, whatever. I was giving you the benefit.
And if we're talking about actual wedding guys that were doing it before, probably a sixth of the price.
They're press and play.
You want to go down to it? Yeah, that's what I mean.
I was doing it for free drinks.
Overpaid.
Maybe $100.
Overpaid.
I forget. Oh, sure, of course. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all. But I mean, like one thing, and I've done one wedding with you. You kindly asked me to do another one with you this year. I mean, I think weddings are like, even as a guest for me. I mean, I'm married, and that was the greatest day of my life, right? Not because of the DJ I had there, who I won't mention, DJ Hersh. No, you were a great DJ for the day.
Sandstorm.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed from me. I actually got a text from someone the other day saying, "Hey, I'm at this event and Sandstorm is playing." People just know me like as the guy who loves Sandstorm. But what was I saying? Oh, it was weddings. Like for me as a guest, and then the one that I did with you was very fucking weird. That was the most bizarre. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because it was my first time. But
no, that was definitely an outlier.
That was a weird day.
Oh.
But as someone who's been in a lot of weddings and a guest at a lot of weddings, what a great day. I mean, like that's the happiest moment of some people's lives, right? Whether it's the bride and groom or the father of the bride or the mother of the groom or whatever it might be, like the room is just filled with just this energy and this amount of love and happiness. I mean, do you kind of feed off that? Are weddings is fun for you to be a part of? Like, as it would be for a guest, or is that stressful because you're like, oh man, I gotta make sure like these songs hit. I gotta make sure that they're having a good time, and if they're not, what am I gonna do? Like, what's that like?
It's for me, it's more or less the latter. You do get the energy. You do feel what everything is going on. But me personally, I'm worried about how good a time the bride and groom are having, and making sure first and foremost they're happy, and then also how everybody else is feeling. Like I said, they're paying a lot of money for that day, and that's pressure. You don't want to have a bad day,
right?
Like sometimes it's unavoidable. It's the guests, it's something at the venue, it's some other variable that you could never account for. There's so many different things that can go wrong, and I've seen a lot of them. And you're just hoping that you have a good crowd that wants to have fun. As long as the people there want to have fun, it'll be a good night. Sometimes there's people there that go there because they were invited and they want to eat the dinner and they want to go home. It happens. There's a certain percentage at every single wedding where that happens. But you're trying to maximize every moment of that. And you really want it to go well. Some guys don't like, hey, I'm getting paid. People don't want to dance, whatever. I don't feel like that. I will do everything I can to make sure that works out in the best possible way. Like it hurts me if it's not going well. Like some people just don't care, whatever. Like if there's not a good party, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes you can't avoid it.
That's kind of how it was when that wedding we did. It's like,
we
want to do the bouquet toss. Like let's go. And yeah.
Somebody was out in the field somewhere. I don't know. Where did they go? We like I don't know.
Oh, what a
I've done weddings where the bride was an hour late.
Yeah.
Like where's she at?
I was going to ask you, what is the craziest like experience you've had at a wedding, whether it be the bride being late or just like someone yelling at you or whatever it might be.
There's been a couple. Like there was one this spring on a real hot day where the bride just did not feel good because it was so hot. And I was ready to get things going and do introductions. It was like the bride went and had to lay down because she did not feel good. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was a small wedding in a small venue with a cash bar. And I was like, oh boy, how is this going to go? Right. And it ended up going as good as it could have. But you're like, oh, this is not looking good. There's other ones where, people are there and they're like want you to do certain things and like, oh, play this old kind of music or this kind of thing. And they're like, well, the bride and groom don't want that kind of thing. And they get like, man, we didn't have a great time in that wedding you did. And I'm like, well, it wasn't for you,
Right.
Like stuff like that happens, there's no way to get around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was weddings where we couldn't even start the ceremony because the bride is 45 minutes, an hour late. Like what happened? Well, we don't know. She was like trying to get something or this thing, somebody didn't show up or I don't know. So everything gets pushed back. Like you just have to figure it out.
I remember there's this time you text me, you're like, what do you know about this girl? And I'm like, I don't know. I think she's getting married soon. You're like, yeah, I'm doing the wedding. And like, she just kind of ghosted me. That wedding never went through. I think she's married now, but somebody else.
Oh boy.
That's weird. Weddings are weird too. I mean, like relationships in general are weird. But
there's been weddings that I've done, and then 2-3 years, they got divorced.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
part of life. I mean,
what happens, man?
Through COVID, obviously, I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like we're finally past it. But I mean, like, how did your life change, and how did that affect your income and your jobs and all that kind of stuff? Like, how did COVID affect weddings?
Well, it created a huge backlog. Pretty much for me, it was cancellations and reschedules, which were hard. The cancellations are one thing because you're only losing money once. A reschedule would mean you didn't get to do the wedding this year, so we're doing it next year, and then you can't take another one next year. So you kind of lose almost double.
Right.
You know what I mean? Almost.
Yeah, for sure.
Not really, but kind of, yeah.
Kind of, because you would have been paid in 2020, and then you would have booked that date again in 2021 or 2022.
Right.
But now the date from 2020, is now in 2022 or whatever the
Right.
case might be. And yeah, I get it.
Yeah. That was the bigger issue. I mean, it was like, oh, we're not gonna do it. We're just gonna go to the courthouse or whatever. Okay, cool. Like, and fortunately, I had less total cancellations. Where, and another thing was, it was in a situation where I didn't have to refund a whole lot of people, even though I some people were like, all right, well we paid the whole thing early, but it's not going to happen. And then you refund and you try to do everything you can because it's a once in however a millennium, I guess, situation.
Let's hope. Yeah.
So you do whatever you can to make things right, morally,
Right.
or ethically, however you want to state it.
Both, yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is unprecedented. Let's deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, there was fewer cancellations than there were reschedules. I guess fortunately for couples,
Right.
Unfortunately for me. So like 2021 was kind of rough, where we started coming back and shit got squished in however it could. So there was weddings on Fridays, there's weddings on Sundays, and it just got, compressed. But now everything's kind of catching up.
Yeah, I heard of weddings like on Mondays now too. Like, it's funny how a pandemic, it's not funny, it's amazing how a pandemic and things like this like can change and alter like traditions almost. Like traditionally weddings are from, April through October. Now, and it's like, Friday to Sunday or Friday to Saturday. Now it's okay. We're going to inch into Sundays and maybe even Mondays. I don't know. Like that could be weird, but
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely.
I don't envy you. I mean, yeah, trying to juggle that and it's obviously a substantial amount of income for. I mean, you have a full-time job. I mean, a wedding DJ or a club DJ is definitely not something you scoff at. It's part of your life. It's part of who you are. It's part of your income. And I can't imagine the entertainment industry as a whole just kind of got crushed.
Ooh, so bad.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there, I was able to get some assistance.
That's good.
From a couple programs, so it wasn't super detrimental to me or income wise. You know what I mean? But the other thing was, sometimes those reschedules happen on a date that you already had something.
Mm-hmm.
So that I ran into that a few times where it was like, well, we're our date, we have a new date and it's this date. I'm like, well, I already have something that date.
Yeah. Sorry.
I can't do it and cancel on them because that was their date. Can I help you find somebody else? Or, do you have an option for a different date other than that?
Right.
And that happened a few times where, all right, well, we have a backup day of this. Can you do that? I'm like, either yeah or no. So there was so many different scenarios.
Yeah. That's where the beat texts come through. Beattext.com.
Oh yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Oh yeah, it's there.
Of course.
I don't. Good. It's there. I probably need to put up some new information, new content, but it's still there.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Well, it's getting pretty late. I don't want to keep you up too late. I know you have work in the morning. I don't want to make it too groggy. But do you mind if we get into the Take a Shot segment?
Let's do it.
Brought to you by the V-Spot Bar in Scranton. I didn't have a lot of questions to ask you, but I had a couple. I had a few people that needed some answers to some questions.
I bet I know who they are.
I won't say the person's name.
You can.
I'll. He may have been brought up earlier tonight.
Okay.
He said, "What's it like to be the backing band for Joe Caveston?" He's heard that Joe is very demanding. In addition to that, what are the rehearsals like? And finally, does he share any of the deli tray in the green room before the performance?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. The backing band is bizarre. That's the word I would use. Because I'm the talented one. And it just seems like people are more interested with him. You know, he's more or less the Murphy Lee to my Nelly. It's weird.
Do you guys ever fight over this? Like, I mean, like, hey, guy, you're getting too much attention. Like, I'm the talent here. You're not.
What do I need attention for? I'm the good-looking one.
Sure. You're both ugly.
What was the second part?
He said
three parts of that.
Yeah, he heard that Joe is very demanding. And what are the rehearsals like?
I don't ever need to rehearse because I'm amazing. Joe always eats everything on the deli tray.
That's how you stay so skinny, right?
I'm like, oh, here, you take all the pastrami.
Take the pastrami.
Yeah.
Joe Caviston asks, he just asks why. Just why?
Why?
Because
I like you.
I said, dude, you can do better than that. And he said, let me have my coffee first. I'll send you some zingers. Joe Caviston sends 0 zingers. I was like, this is all you got?
Of course.
Of
course. Typical, like not even last minute.
At least he didn't butcher your name.
What?
At least he didn't butcher your name.
Oh, well, he has no choice.
The one thing I love about Joe Caviston, it's almost like watching a TV, like a comedy episode of him. So Joe, as much as we were busting on Joe tonight, Joe is an integral part of the NEPA music scene. In addition to the emo nights with Hersh, Joe does the Steamtown Music Awards and the Electric City Music Conference. Great weekend in Scranton. I think this year it's back on schedule to be in September. But Joe is not talented in saying people's last names. If there's 100 names,
why did I laugh before you started saying last names?
Because you knew. If there's 100 names, he's going to butcher 90 of them. Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, I would pay to see that. I would pay to see. Some of them aren't even hard. It's like Smith,
Jones,
John Smythe. Joe, we love you. I'm just kidding. And then last question. CJ asks, he'd like to know what your favorite My Chemical Romance song is.
And I told him on the tread there.
That's
Teenagers.
That's fucking weak.
Teenagers.
Fine.
Teenagers. What else would it like? I'm not gonna pick one of the huge ones.
You don't care, really.
You're right.
I think that was it. Let's take a little quick look at the Instagrams. I think that was it on those. Yeah. It's weird. Some of those segments get a lot of questions. Some don't. But we're good. We're good. All right. So what is it? What do you have here? You sent me something. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
You sent me a GIF with a guy waiting. Listen, I'm very punctual. 9:00.
Some people would say GIF.
Some people would. I don't like it. I don't like GIF. I like GIF.
No GIF. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't say it.
I'm a GIF guy.
Pick.
Two topical things. This will be out of date by the time this airs, but is it Ghislaine?
Oh boy. Yeah.
20 years. Do you think she dies in prison? Do you think she, quote unquote, dies in prison?
Nah, she get out early.
You don't. I think she's gonna get. She's gonna accidentally die.
Not this time.
Can you imagine?
They won't let it happen twice.
Can you imagine Can you imagine if she,
I mean,
quote unquote, commits suicide like Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to just. I mean, I'm sure the circumstances are different, but why'd she get 20 and R. Kelly got 30?
That was my next question.
I knew you were coming with it.
30 years.
I knew you were coming with it.
Dude, I mean, well, you got to think about the fact, R. Kelly, us
Like,
growing
I don't
up,
know all the circumstances to each case, but it's kind of like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna like compare the two. I don't, like you said, I don't know enough about each one to really, whatever it might be. But I mean, 30 years. He's 55 now, I think.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
He'll do 15.
You think?
Yeah, she'll do 10. He'll do 15.
But I mean, R. Kelly. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. And I feel sorry for the victims. But I mean, R. Kelly was like, growing up. I mean, you remind me of my Jeep. I'm gonna ride it. I mean,
you pulled that one out of nowhere,
dude. I mean, I love that album. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you what he had this fucking like leather trench coat on.
Which was the one that he wanted to wax? Like he wanted to wax it,
or maybe the Jeep he wanted to wax. I think the Jeep he wanted to wax. I forget what he wanted to ride.
It was the sound. I want to bump it.
Yeah.
I don't remember all of them 100%, but yeah.
I think maybe he wanted. Yeah, maybe he wanted to wax the Jeep.
Yeah.
And what he wanted to ride, I forget. But regardless, I mean, he gave us great songs. I believe I Can Fly from the Space Jam.
Nobody can touch that one. Nobody can touch that one.
It's a shame.
Huge.
You see, and they always say never meet your idols because it's shit like this. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? What was that great song? 2002-ish. Some at a Holiday Inn.
What?
The Holiday Inn.
The Hotel Motel Holiday.
No. Shit. R. Kelly. What song was that? 2002. Oh shit! It's gonna drop notes. I gotta find it. Bounce. Ignition.
Oh yeah. Ignition.
So I'm drunk.
You're losing your nose.
It's a freaking weekend, baby. Maybe it was in Holiday Inn. Whatever. I think he says Holiday Inn somewhere in there. I recently was turned on to. He's got a song called Real Talk. Google it.
That one.
Go to YouTube after we're done here. Real Talk, R. Kelly. It's phenomenal. But well, my friend, it is getting late.
Yes, sir.
It has been.
You're pretty spot on an hour and a half.
Is that what I said it was going to be? I didn't
say it. That's what it was.
I don't have a timeline. It goes as long as it goes. But I'll tell you what. Either I have become a much better interviewer, or you have just really relaxed in your old age, because this is the third interview we've done. We did one for the NAPA Scene podcast, like 2018. We did one in 2020, mid-pandemic. And to this day, I've said that you were my hardest interview, rather. You're not easy to get information from. But tonight, you kind of gave it up. And I don't know if I just asked the right questions and I did the thing I should do. Or, like I said, you're just loosening up in your old age. You're kind of like letting things go easier. You're not
I think you've become a much better interviewer.
I hope so.
I think we're going to put it on you.
All right, I'll take it. But I feel like you've just lightened up a bit. You're less like closed off.
The less you think about things, the easier it is.
There you go. You're getting old.
That's it.
We're getting old.
Old
English.
You better hope that baby don't come tonight. I swear to God.
I gotta piss so bad, dude. I gotta piss so bad. But DJ Hersh, I don't want to say club DJ because there's not a lot of clubs, but like bar club DJ, wedding DJ. Where can people find you online to either book you for a wedding, book you for a party, all that good stuff? DJ Hersh. That's where they can find you online?
Find me online, actually, beattex.com. That's BEATTEKS. I'm online everywhere as some form of DJ Hersh, DJ Hersh 20, something or other around that effect. Yeah, I just Google it. I come up somewhere. There's not too many guys with the name. There's a couple, but none that are actually spelled the same.
Should we tell them your real name?
No.
No, okay.
It's just Hersh.
Just Hersh.
Hersh.
DJ Hersh. Beattex.com. Dude, thank you for so much for doing this. I really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I consider you a great friend. DJ Hersh did my wedding, which today's the 29th. So it was 7 years ago, 2 days ago. June 27th. June 27th. There were horse heads. It rained all fucking day long. It was 65 degrees, end of June, rain all day. It was fucking terrible. But we had the best day. So thank you for being a part of that. Yeah, so
absolutely. My pleasure.
Thank you for being a part
single time.
Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for producing the emo nights for the kids who want to cry and sing at the same time. And again, if you need to hire a wedding DJ, beattex.com, Google DJ Hersh. You'll find him somewhere.
Kind of DJ.
Yeah, DJ Hersh. Any kind of party DJ, wedding DJ, club DJ, bat mitzvah.
I haven't done any of those.
Hey, it's the first time for everything.
It is.
All right. Thank you to my sponsors, Keller's Garden Center, Landscaping Services, V-Spot Bar in Scranton, Ionic Development. We'll see you guys soon. Later. Thanks.
Please.
See you.